client liaison, you haven't reached out to LegalSoft to bring in a virtual assistant to help you contact every single one of those clients on a consistent basis,
Yep.
right? Shame on you. That's a mistake, right? So, reach out to people like Tally and myself who've been down this path with hundreds of firms, and we'll give you great free advice. Doesn't cost anything.
No, it's
We're
just a
more than happy.
conversation.
Phone call.
We're very passionate about this,
Very.
as you can tell. And we
Exactly.
just enjoy talking
Exactly.
about it
We
all
love
day.
talking about this stuff. Yeah, it's what we do.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the LegalSoft podcast. Thank you for being here. My name is Tally Englander. I'm one of the senior account executives. And today we have our wonderful guest, Adam Reiman. A lot of you may already know him. If you're one of our clients, you've chatted with him before. Welcome, Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam. As Tally said, you may know me. I've been in the legal space since 2012. I've been honored to work in hundreds of law firms in the last 12 years of all shapes and sizes and all over the country, every practice area. So super honored to be here today. I've been here with LegalSoft for about a year now. It's been just a great ride. I'm super honored to be here. So thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been great working with you. So today we're going to be talking about what you didn't learn in law school. All right, Adam. So
Yeah.
Tell us, what is the
I'm in the hot
difference-
seat now.
Yes, you are.
Let's do it.
Tell us, what is the difference between the study of law and the practice of law?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. So I think the best way to answer that is that having worked, and I'm sure you have as well, we work with a lot of law firm owners who are really struggling to even get their business underway, right? And so that meaning, what that question says to me is that law school does an amazing job of churning out technicians, right? Lawyers are technicians, right? And they come out with absolutely zero business skills because they're not taught business ownership in law school, right? The first class in law school is contracts, and it goes downhill from there for 3 years. And then they get out and they want to run their own business and they don't even know how to get to square one, right? And so I think what that question means to me is that law schools generate great technicians, but crappy business owners, ill-prepared.
Yes, talking to clients, all day. I see it all the time. The ones that are fresh out of the water, fresh out of school,
Yeah.
there's a certain mindset that they have. And,
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't see the way you need to go to develop the business aspect of it. But it's also amazing to see that a couple of years down the line, the same person who graduated law school comes back and is like, all right, I've done my work.
get it.
I get it. I get what I need to do.
Mhm.
So there really is a clear path. And it's just about, them learning what the next steps are.
No, that's exactly right. And I think what it is that they come out and you're either interested in running your own firm or you're committed. Two totally different things. If you're committed to running your business, you'll navigate away. You'll reach out to people like you and me and you'll say, "Hey, Tally, what do you suggest I do here?" Right? I've got this speed bump in my firm. I can't get to the next level. What should I do, Tally? And you'll dive in as an expert like you are, and you'll come out with a recommendation that's going to make the client go, "Okay, this makes sense. I'm going to rely on the expertise that someone like Tally brings to the plate, and I'm going to take her suggestion. Maybe it's add 2 more virtual assistants to help scale, grow, and get to the next level." So 100%.
One thing that I was going to bring it up in the first point, but I didn't. I don't know if you know about Persians. They all think they need to own their own law firm versus sometimes it makes more sense to work at a firm and just make a whole bunch of money.
Right.
Should we even touch on that? Or is that too or maybe I won't say
No,
Persians,
no,
but we'll
no.
just say some people.
No. Here, I'll tell a great story. Here's the path from law school day one to passing the state bar for a lawyer. Okay. Lawyer comes in, or first year student comes in, grinds it out for 3 years hard, right?
Yeah.
Law school is a bitch.
Yep.
They get out, they take the bar exam, and they go one of 2 paths. The smart path, in my opinion, is to get a job at a law firm, a job. Why? Because you have mountains of debt. You still have rent to pay, car payments, and you want to have some sort of a life, right? Think about some of the cities. Think about Los Angeles, how much rents are. And then double that, and that's your law school loan that's due the first of every month. I live that, right? My wife is a lawyer. On the 10th of every month, we had to send a check. We sent checks back then. It was not online payment for her law school loan, and we did it for 10 years.
Wow.
Okay? So think about that. Now, so the smart lawyer, in my opinion, goes and gets a job because you can learn about it. You can learn how to be a lawyer. You can learn about what practice areas you're interested in, right? You can learn from people that have been there already. You can get mentors to teach you how to be lawyers, the technical aspects of being a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
And then at year 7, what happens with most of these lawyers is they get called in. Partner calls them in. Hey, Tally, we love you. You're doing amazing work. Your billable hours are off the charts, right? You're on track to make partner. So here's your next fork.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? In order to make partner, Tally, we need you to go out and make it rain. And that's where Tally goes, I have no idea what that means, right?
Yeah.
In order to make partner, you need to make it rain. In other words, you need to start originating some of your own cases. You need to put back money into the firm. And that's when that's when that associate says, I think I can do it a better way. I'm going to go out and I'm going to start my own law firm. Okay. They hang their shingle. And for about the first 6 months, things are really, really good because you've got a book of business maybe that you brought with you. You've burned through your friends and your family,
Yep.
right? Things are looking up, right? You may have had the most successful 6 months of your career, right?
Yep.
But then you lift your head up from your desk and you go, shit, man, I don't know where my next lead's coming from. That's when panic sets in because the loans, the rent, the car payments, they don't go away.
Nope.
Right? So that's where you have to be an intelligent business owner, learn how to become a business owner rapidly, and reach out to people like us who can help guide you through the shark-infested waters of owning your own business. And that's sort of the path.
Yeah.
So,
And that's very spot on. That's pretty much exactly how it goes. And
mhm.
I talk to people that are in that first 6 months phase, and at best, it may even be the first 3 months when they
Right.
burn through friends and family and referrals, and it's an unrealistic perception of what's happening. It's not
Yeah, it's
reality.
not. And they think it's always going to be that way, and it's not.
Yes.
If you don't have a plan, a written business marketing action plan in your briefcase, then you're setting yourself, what is it? Those who fail to plan to fail.
Yeah.
Something like that. You've got to have
Yeah.
a plan, and it's got to be written down.
Yeah.
So don't just
Especially,
jump into small business ownership without having a plan, and that's a huge mistake.
yeah, it is. And I would even say consult other people who are in this industry, whether it's, like us or
Yep.
other attorneys that have done this before, big and small, to kind of
hmm
get a sense of it. Sometimes you see three attorneys, three guys who graduated law school matching up to start their PI California firm,
Right.
with nothing. And it's just so heartbreaking to see when that happens,
Yeah.
without a plan in place. When
100%.
sometimes it just makes more sense to actually stay with a company for a little bit longer and take that route and really look at, do I want to put in what it's going to take to build a business,
Mhm.
or not?
I agree 100%. You and I are on the same page there.
So how does law school prepare you for opening your practice?
Again, it doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, right? Law school creates technicians, not business owners. It's not a prep school for business. It's just not.
Yeah,
Not one bit.
I had a client who he was, working successfully at a practice, and then the attorney retired and basically passed all the cases on to him, which is like gold mine. Like that is the
Yeah.
goal, that's the dream.
Right?
But
He
what
didn't know how to
also
do it.
came with it was running the actual
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah, he didn't know how to do it.
He had no idea how to do it. And he had all these cases.
Yep.
Half of them were in trial. The other half were, still open. And he came to us and we put the structure in place. But,
Yeah.
it's a good and a bad problem.
Totally. I mean, it's like pennies from heaven falling in your lap. But if you don't know how to manage the business, the pennies fall out.
Yeah.
And it's just, you've got to, yeah, I've helped lawyers like that in the past. Same deal. Like the best thing ever can turn out to be a total nightmare. And what happens? What happens is clients suffer. Clients end up suffering.
Yep.
If you gain a big book of business from someone else, the client ends up suffering. They fire you. They report you to the state bar. They write negative reviews about you because you don't have a client liaison. You haven't reached out to LegalSoft to bring in a virtual assistant to help you contact every single one of those clients on a consistent basis.
Yep.
Right? Shame on you. That's a mistake. Right? So, reach out to people like Tally and myself who've been down this path with hundreds of firms, and we'll give you great free advice. Doesn't
Yeah,
cost anything.
no, it's
We're
just a
more than happy.
conversation.
Phone call.
We're very passionate about this, as
Very.
you can tell, and we just enjoy talking
Exactly.
about it
We
all
love
day.
talking about this stuff. Yeah, it's what we do.
So what are some of the other, the top 2 or 3 mistakes that they make when they start to open their practice? And what are some things that they should do when they open their practice?
Number one that they should do before they even open their doors is have a plan, a written plan, and stick to it. Ask yourself, look in the mirror, am I interested or am I committed? Two totally different things. Like, I'm interested in playing in the NBA, but I'm not that tall. So the point is that you've got to be committed to this mission that you've got in your head. Because Michael Gerber, who wrote the E-Myth Revisited, which I've used in my coaching for 12 years now, he'll tell you one thing. When you come out, and why so many small businesses struggle, right, is because it's nearly impossible to be the entrepreneur, the technician, and the manager of your own small business. So you've got to follow the E-Myth. Michael Gerber, the E-Myth Revisited, is an amazing book that will tell you all the roadblocks to small business ownership. I would say read that cover to cover, write notes in the margin, and come out with a plan, a written plan on how you're going to accomplish it. And remember, that first 6 months is like a storm.
Yeah.
You're going to burn through everything, and you think that that's the way it's going to be for the next 6 years. And it's not. If you don't have a plan, that means a pipeline full of referral partners, potential new clients, all those things that you have to have in place before you start. It's a huge mistake. And so I would, just have a plan. Have a plan.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Any big don'ts or any big do's?
I would say don't blow all your cash. Be smart and intelligent and have a budget and stick to the budget. Eat ramen for 6 months. Don't eat Mastros. Right? Stick to a plan, stick to a budget, write it all down, and learn as much as you possibly can about smart business ownership. And that includes ways to affordably save on operating expenses by scaling it and growing your firm virtually, because this is the new wave. Okay? In-house staff is extraordinarily expensive, hard to find, unreliable, and expensive. Right, especially in major metropolitan cities. Right now, there's paralegal shortages in California, Texas, and Florida, which is hindering law firms' ability to get to the next level. So the wave is on. The virtual wave is on. It's taking off like crazy right now. And in a post-COVID world, it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, it is. And
So-
I think it's important for firms to continue to grow and learn
100%.
and not stay in the same way they've been doing it.
That's
At
right.
one point, TV commercials were the way of advertising for the old school attorneys.
That's right.
And now if you make a TikTok video in the same tone as that very formal TV salesman commercial, it's like gonna flop. So continue to grow and educate
Continue
yourself.
to grow and change,
Yes.
and you'll prosper.
Yeah. How does one become the best lawyer in their practice area?
Remember that this is a problem-solving business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about you, Mr. or Mrs. Lawyer. It's about them, the potential new client. Okay. There's a huge miss. Where I live, my hometown, there's a lawyer that at the bottom of his signage, and he's all over town, says Harvard graduate, Harvard Law School graduate, 1991. Okay. He's a criminal defense lawyer. Who is that important to? Is it important to the FedEx driver that just got a DUI on a weekend, who's about to lose his job, his car, his license, maybe his house? Does he care that this particular lawyer graduated from Harvard in 1991? Hell no, he doesn't.
No.
What he cares about is, can this person help me solve my problem? Lawyers spend too much time, money, and energy on stock marketing photos. If you go to 50 law firm websites, 49 of them are going to have the scales of justice in the background or the lawyer on the courthouse steps with their sleeves rolled up.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Don't be like the rest of the herd, be contrary. But also keep in mind, it's not about us, the lawyer I'm talking about, it's about them and how we can help someone who's calling you on your worst possible day, on their worst possible day, solve their particular problem. We're selfish creatures by nature.
Yeah.
We care about us, right? And that's why he's got that sign that says Harvard 91 on it, right? Because he cares about himself. It's important to him, his mom, his family, right? And it is cool. I don't mean to downplay the accomplishment, but it's meaningless from a marketing strategy. Who cares? Who cares? Like I said, FedEx driver's going to lose his job, house, car, license. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect his decision to buy from you. What does affect is if I call you at 3:00 in the morning, did you answer? That's what affects it.
Yep.
Right? So it's too much about I, me, rather than them. And then we need to do a
Yes.
better job of that.
I agree.
Yep.
I would even say taking a step back and being strategic with what practice area and state you're getting into,
100%.
because that'll even dictate a lot of it, a lot of what's in front of you, because there's certain practice areas and states that catch fire and people catch wind and they're like, let's go for that, let's go for that.
Right.
But by the time you catch wind of it, it's already saturated.
Gone.
It's gone. So it's being strategic, kind of doing your research at the time that you're making that decision, and then going into it with the heart that you're talking about
Right.
to care.
Great point. Great point. And it's like, are people still rounding up Camp Lejeune cases right now? I have no idea. I think Camp Lejeune may be dead on the vine. I don't know, but it's slowed to a crawl. I was working in a law firm in the Midwest 10 years ago, and they were rounding up at that time talcum powder cases, Johnson
Yeah.
Johnson
Yeah,
talcum
I
powder.
remember that.
That's 10 years ago, and that case is
Wow.
still going on,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So you got to be quick.
Yes. Thank you. That was very insightful. And
My
I think
pleasure.
a lot of our viewers are going to gain a lot of benefit from that, especially, coming fresh out of law school, or even the ones that are currently practicing and
so
kind of
too.
struggling.
I think so. My links are going to be in the description, and I'd be honored to talk to any of you if you're a 10-year lawyer and you're thinking about going out on your own, or if you're just out of law school getting ready to take the state bar, or you've taken the bar and you don't know what to do next. More than happy to spend 15 minutes with you, half an hour with you on the phone, just to kind of walk through the different options. I can tell you some of the stuff to avoid, like what practice areas should you not go into right now, right? Those sorts of things
Yep.
that will help you have a really rewarding career as you launch this new, law firm on your own. I'm more than happy to dispense as much advice as I've got.
And are there any in-person opportunities to meet you?
Great question. So we've got a pretty active conference schedule coming up this summer and in the spring. I was just at a conference a couple of weeks ago in Arizona. At the end of April, you'll be happy to know that we'll be at NACPA, which is the National Association of Consumer Bankruptcy Lawyers. That's a big event that's going on in Colorado Springs. Our company CEO and founder and boss, Hamid Kohan, will be speaking from the stage. We've got stage time. He'll be talking about the effective tools to use to how to grow and scale your bankruptcy firm by utilizing virtual assistants. So he'll be speaking. He's got a couple of speaking slots, and I'll be up there manning the booth, and more than happy to talk to you there and then. Bankruptcy is an interesting practice area right now because everyone's waiting for the bubble, right? The clock's ticking. We're waiting for the big bubble. It's an interesting practice area because before COVID, it was down 30% nationally. During COVID, it essentially died. The bankruptcy courts were closed in a lot of cities, right? Just collapsed. And plus there was government protection and all sorts of things, COVID funds available, right? And now all the bankruptcy lawyers are lined up waiting for the next bubble to come, because there is going to be one where folks are going to be unable to catch up on their personal finances when the funds run dry, and it's coming. That should be a fun and exciting event, and I'll be there. And then we've got some other stuff going on. I'll be at another event at the end of June. So
Awesome.
yeah.
On a personal note,
Mhm.
what makes you happy this week?
This week?
This week.
So two things. I was in New York. My youngest son, every year for spring break, my wife and I let my youngest son pick a city that he wants to go to. And this year he said he wanted to go to Antarctica
Nice.
for spring break. We said that might be a little bit far. So pick number 2 was New York City. So we spent 4 days in New York City. It was magnificent. Best pizza and best bagels in the world. New York City. I'm sorry. You can write me a note below if you dispute it. Best pizza and bagels, New York City. And then the other thing I'm super excited about is March Madness. I'm a huge college basketball fan. I'm a graduate of the University of Arizona. We're a huge basketball school. And so, very excited for that, and just wish I could sit in front of the TV for the next few days to watch games. So,
Nice.
yep.
Do you remember the name of the pizza or the bagel spot?
Yes. Hudson
All
Bagels
right.
and
Jo-
Joe's or Joey's Pizza.
Joe's Pizza. Yeah, that's got to be it. That's where I went.
Lines outside. 4 days we were there. We ate pizza 3 times.
Wow.
That's a sickness. And we ate bagels every morning for breakfast. Because Hudson opens at 6 a.m. I walked over there because, I'm an early riser, and it was still dark out. I walk over to Hudson Bagels, bring some back to the room while everybody else slept. Amazing trip. Loved it.
That
My
sounds
10-year-old,
delicious.
he wants to go now. He'll want to go every year now. We had so much fun. So, what are you excited about this week?
What am I excited about this week? So I have a almost 5-month-old, in case some of you guys know that already, and
Awesome.
we're transitioning her into her bedroom, into her crib. I know,
Whoa.
small but big.
That's
So
awesome.
that is what I'm excited for, and
That's going to happen this weekend?
yes, that is happening this
Woo, it's a
weekend.
big one.
I know, fingers crossed, it's
Yep.
smooth.
So, you got the baby monitor all set up. You got the crib going.
Oh yeah, all ready to go for
That's
her.
awesome.
Yes.
That's so great. That's one of those great moments in parenthood that you never forget, for sure. The day they go in their own room.
Adam, thank you so much for being here. It's always fantastic when I see you at the office and you surprise us here. Can't wait for you to stop by next time. And so great. Always, every time I chat with you, I'm learning more and more and more. So it's always a pleasure.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a blast, and it's been great talking little law school stuff today. It's been fun. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in to the Legal Self Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below what you're doing after law school. We're looking forward to having Adam on in the future. And don't forget to hit that bell to know when the next episode drops.